Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lights Out League Racing Season 31. And we're with the Div 2 boys for race 3 of the season. And we're here in Baku in Azerbaijan. I thought last week at Vegas we had some absolute carnage. But on the streets of Baku, I'm pretty sure we're going to have one or two talking points. Hopefully all good. We've got 16 drivers on the grid at the moment, 17 with D-Sing. There's already a car that's missed its braking point. What a silly sausage. But I'm pretty sure we're going to have some decent racing on show. We've got short qualifying, 50% race, standard format for General League racing. Those that watch the Div 1 boys doing their race 2 of the season in Vegas with Portuguese, claiming the win, and some fantastic drives on show, especially from the McLarens and Timo in the Haas. Favourites for this race, you've got to have eyes on Regan McKinnon and his Haas. Taking the lead in Div 2 with both wins of the season. Quite fortuitous for both though. We've taken advantage of the safety cars. TT Fleasy, who we're on with now, another potential favourite. You've got to have eyes on the likes of Dan Morris and Skyglide in the Astons, but we do have eyes on TT Fleasy to start the first hot lap of our race here in Baku. Approaching turn 1, 90 degrees left-hander, where you want to just clip the apex before going wide. The walls are very, very close, so you've got to just a little touchy round turn 2 there. Turns 2 and 3 very similar. DRS down is straight to turn 3. A couple of run-off areas where you might need a reverse camera where we can see a car just. You've got to judge them perfectly here. Turn 4, right-hander again. 90 degrees, go wide, be brave on the turn in. Just clip the apex as we end sector 1. Turns 5 and 6, nice and smooth through the chicane, right the apex of turn 6. Very difficult here now. Turn 7 is very easy to invalidate. Oh, he's gone slightly deep, didn't get the rotation they needed through. Castle chicane, took that very well. You've got to be brave, but also quite particular as you navigate how you're going to end up clipping the wall. And round turns, turn 15, round the curb, slightly on 15, are you going to fly into the wall? Very important. Turn 16, where you want to get a good exit, as it's basically a straight here, flat out through all these slight kinks, and then down the 2.2 kilometre straight along the Caspian Sea. Nice view if you look on the right hand side, and he's going to cross the line. Benedict reckons this could be carnage, but a 39 flat for Fleasy on his first run. He reckons it's going to be mid 38s potentially for pole. His teammates next to cross the line, and 1 or 2 times going to fucking 141 for Shawnee P. Fastest final sector for the Sauber. Pepso comes in a 47. Damon Hill with a 41.5. So just some banker laps. Regan McKinnon 39.3. So 3.5 tenths off, 3 tenths off Fleasy. McLaren next across the line. Hot Stepper going 40.2. Magels comes in with a 41.6. Kessler goes up ahead of him in a 41.5. D Sing's joined us, thankfully his bench shot in the Williams goes up to 41 flat. That's Aiden reserving in the Visa Carbon debut, goes 49.7, so he's messed up his lap, or he's just doing an out lap, extra warm up. Dan Morris fastest first sector here. One to keep an eye on. Well, let's jump on 1 or 2 other sides. He's just started his lap. Benchard is out. Crashed out coming around turn 6. So that's him done. He's only set that one time on his in-lap as well. Sky Guy goes P4 for 40.2. It's good at 1.2 seconds off his Fleazy. Still some time to find. Second Hasso Adina Rui. A nice slipstream off the Sauber head that's lost his front wing. On an in-lap as well. Donk move. Comes and crosses the line. And goes P11. So let's jump back on with Dan Morris then, as he hampered a bit there. No, nice little slipstream. And goes on to row 2 with a 39.7. 7/10 off Fleazy. Let's see what Cygate can do. So Cygate and Daz are both in opposite cars. Cygate's put himself in the wrong ball. Good evening, Benedict. Good evening, Keezer. Keezer's predicting safety cars. Well, if one or two cars are crashing out on their in-laps, I think your prediction is right. Well, Cygate, who's been pretty decent on his qualifying sessions, at the moment goes P12. Dazaran, Big John reserving for Benja this week, both on their out laps. Dazza in the Red Bulls with Pepso, who's found himself in P7. So the one to beat at the moment is Fleazy. Managed to dial in, get himself a decent banker lap. Let's see what Dazza can do. No pressure in a different car. DRS open. Good exit out of turn 2. He's a good turn in on turn 3 here. Walls come up very quickly. You'll get good rotation out of turn 4. You don't want to ride the apex too much or you're going to hit the wall on the outside. You want a good smooth motion going through turns 5 and 6. Good drive there for B's car. Fastest first sector. You want to get good rotation. Round turn 7. That was very, very smooth. This looks like he's driven here before. Slight loss of traction coming out of turn 11. But good exit out of 12. And you see one or two overtakes down this back end. Difficult corner here. Oh, very tepid round that corner. So well away from the apex. He's got the fastest middle sector though, so on a decent lap here, Dazza. Could do with a slight slipstream. He's got no one ahead of him though, so it's just pure speed out of his car for this final straight. Sun's blaring down. It's that hot. I saw a chicken laying omelette. Goes P7, 40.7, so still 1.7 seconds. I think the game was telling us fibs. Big John on a lap here. As he comes down to the end of second sector, not a decent time here for John. Probably find himself at the back or jumping in the pits. Deesing's going in, so Deesing hit the wall on his outlap. Let's keep an eye, I think, on... I think Pepso is ahead. At the moment as he comes to the castle section. There's a high chance we're going to see a collision during the race. Oh, it does it. A bottleneck. If one car in front hits it, it doesn't ghost in time generally. And they end up, the cars behind, unfortunately, in a pile-up. Good exit out of 15. Found 2.5 tenths on his time, which is going to get him up ahead of Dazza, up to P7. Needs to find an extra 2.5 tenths or so to get him in extra position. Red Bull, his technical teammate, is ahead of him, and he will jump ahead if he's got a good XL16. And goes up to P6 ahead of Hot Stepper then. Found an extra couple of tenths up to P6. Who was next? I think it was Shawnee P. No, Damon Hill and then Shawnee P. Good time here from the Mercedes. Crosses the line and goes ahead of Dazer up to P8. Shawnee P has not found extra time. He's in the pits then. Let's keep an eye on Kessler, and he's 6 tenths up. Oh, he's not anymore. He's flying without wings. Oh, he was 6 tenths up as well. Would have got him up ahead of Benchod. A big mistake there for the Williams. Ryan Magel then the Challenger leader after 2 races. Had a good start to the season. The Alpine driver. The fried part of Team Egg. Yeah, Terry's caught him on stream there. Pure perfection, that one. Found almost a second here, Magel. Get him up ahead of Dazzler up to P9. If he can find an extra couple of tenths, could find himself in the mix of that very tight midfield from P4 to P8. It's just a tenth. Goes up to P10, 40.7. 300ths behind Dazzler then. Skyglide's just starting a lap, I do believe. So let's stay on with Cygate then. He's got a Red Bull behind him. No, that is Cygate. Cygate is the Red Bull, and he's got a Haas ahead of him. Dina Rie needs to move out of the way. It's going to give him a nice sort of slipstream, but I don't think he'll be too impressed with being compromised through that middle sector by the Haas driver, especially when he's on an outlap. Cygate in the pits then, not improving. Might be something to the steward's room. Skyglide's found almost 6 tenths. We'll get him to the 39.6s, and we'll get him onto the second row ahead of his teammate as it stands. One or two drivers are only choosing to come out once as it stands at the moment. Fleasy and Regan and Dan. Aiden on debut up to P4, second row, 39.8. Under threat here from Skyglide to jump ahead of him. Could be an Aston Martin second row. You won't be hearing that much often in real life. Crosses the line here. And does go ahead of his teammate, 39.726. Very close battle between two teammates. Big John crossing the line then. Goes up to P15 and 42.9. Hot Stepper, half a second up. We'll get him to the 37.7s. 39. Oh, that's incredible time. 39.7. So it's going to be a battle here for row 2. This is going to be a fantastic squabble between Skyguide Dan, Aiden, and Hot Stepper if he can continue to the line. And goes up to P3, 39.5. So find a little bit extra. Itinerary up to P14, 41.9. Skyglide, of course, in the Challenger tier. Needs to follow up this fantastic qualifying, follow it up in the race. Oh. Driver's now coming out. I think these ones just slightly out of sync. Won't be able to set another time. And the track won't be at its optimum temperature. As everyone come out to do their final run. Those in the pits are probably done then. The likes of Aiden. D-Sing. Let's jump on Pepso then for the final time for his qualifying run here in Baku. 1.2 seconds off Fleasy, who's coming out to do another run. Run down to turn 3. Skims the wall, lost slight rubber on his rims. Gonna get her pregnant with that rubber, using that rubber. He's found almost 2/10 here, Pepso. Could he get into the 139s? He'll jump in ahead of Shawnee P. He can find some extra time. He'll be well in the mix here for this row 2, which seems to have a mega battle on our hands. Sky Guide looks like he's trying to do another run or give his teammate a bit of a slipstream down the back straight. Just needs to lay off the gas a bit. Doesn't look like it. He's attempting another run, Skyglide. Can he improve? But he's lost 4/10 here, Pepso, in the middle sector. He's not going to improve his time now. Still 20 odd seconds, so that will be him done. He'll have enough time to do another lap, but I don't know if he'll have enough ERS. Yeah, down 2/10. Let's have a check on Skyglide, who's found an extra a 10th and a half and jumped ahead of Hot Stepper then. Dan Morris is slightly above his time. Has he found any extra time to get ahead of the McLaren? As qualifying is now over. Dan will start P5 highest. Regan McKinnon's next. Has found 3/10. Can he get himself on provisional pole? Regan McKinnon does. 39 flat. Incredible time ahead of Fleasy. Hot Stepper's next across the line. Woo! He's going to be tight at the top. What can Hot Stepper do? Hot Stepper P4. Sygate will start P13. Next we've got Idina Riel, his teammate. On pole, Riel will start P14. Shawnee P will start P7. We've got a big cluster of cars here, and Fleasy's going to have a nice slipstream. Oh, it's caught in the dirty air. Kessler run down to the line. It's going to be tight for him. Going to see some times ping up. Can I catch up to him? Kessler will start P14. Mager will start P10. Fleasy will start P2. Pepso's done. Sky Guy's done. So all eyes on Dazza then. Last one to cross the line. Doesn't seem like he's improved on his time, but the game can be fooling me. And we'll start P11. Pole will go to Regan McKinnon. Pips it. Stays in just in the 139s, but TT Fleasy just couldn't handle the pressure on the final run. And how we'll have to settle for P2. Well, look how close it is between Skyguide, Hot Stepper and Dan Morris. 300ths between P3 and P5. Incredible job. Aiden will take P6, he says. But there's your grid. Regan on pole, 39 flat. TT Fleecy joins him on the front row. Skyglide and Hot Stepper just behind them on row 2. Dan Morris right behind his teammate in P5, Aidan on debut P6. Real Damon Hill and Shawnee P side by side, 7th and 8th, 9th and 10th. Magel and Pepsi round off the top 10. Dazza and Benchard row 6 with Sygate and Kessler row 7. Idinarui and Big John 15th and 16th. D Singh not even setting a time. We'll start from the back, saving all his tyres for the race. I'm going to have a couple of minutes while drivers just sort out their setups and strategies for the race. It's a bit overcast. Will we get rain here in the desert? We shall see. That'll be interesting. I don't recall I've seen rain here at Baku, but the skies are looking grey. Those that are watching, let me know who you reckon's going to be on your podium. It's a difficult one where you've got to decide what setup you want for this track. Do you want high downforce for the twisty bits? And then less drag for the straights. It's heavily crucial down that 2.2 kilometre straight to the start-finish line. Big opportunity for overtaking, especially with the DRS. It is a slipstream hotspot, but of course not on this game because the slipstream has been vetoed for whatever reason. It's an interesting circuit, this one, a mix of wide open sections and narrow twisty ones, especially through that sector 2. And winds through the city's ancient picturesque walls, especially like I mentioned, that castle section. Of course, where it's got the iconic 15th century maiden tower, where it's probably got many dents in now, even though it's got nice buffering. I'm sure that wall's got 1 or 2 bits of shards of carbon fibre lodged into it. One or two giving a good credit to the front 2 for the time they set. Of course it is. Some drivers just like a good circuit, and they're probably one of their favourites, this one. It's a controversial one. I think it's because it is very tricky. Some drivers prefer a circuit like a Silverstone or a Interlagos, where it's got loads of fast sweeping corners, open run-off areas. Yeah, but the race is completely different, my friend. You know, Regan McKinnon's got the wins, but it's only fortunate because of safety cars. Same with Fleasy. He didn't have the greatest of races last week, so the races are completely different. A lot of drivers nail a one hot lap. Look at Guna last season. Didn't always follow up his qualifying performance in the race. And as we get underway, let's have a look at everyone's strategy. One stop is possible. Most drivers starting on the mediums, with 4 drivers, Aidan, Pepso, Big John and D-Sing, all opting to do the alternate strategy. It's all about looking after your tyres here. You don't want to pit more than you want to. It is a 19.7 second pit stop, so you don't want to be in there more than often. Regan McKinnon leads us round. It's very... it's been with us a while now. First held in 2016, where it was called the European Grand Prix, but has now got its own name, probably because all the money it's chucked into it is, of course, a big contributor of oil reserves, being in the Middle East. But yeah, a staple of the calendar now. A 6 kilometre anti-clockwise circuit, 20 corners, 12 to the left, 8 to the right, with the 2 DRS zones, one down the 2.2 kilometre straight, and one between turn 2 and 3. Cars reaching average speed of 200 kilometres an hour, top speed of 350. I'm sure we're going to see some fantastic battles on the track. Regan McKinnon leads us round with TT Fleasy joining him on the front row. Skyglide will be behind them in P3. Top Stepper joining him, who needs to close the gap here on the front 3. Dan Morris just behind his teammate in P5, eyeing up that podium position with Aidan Gibb. Are you a brother of Barry? You're one of the Bee Gees? The only one that's still alive? Damon Hill, P7. Where is your love? Where is your love? Where is your... No, I'm not doing it. Stay alive. I wonder if he'll stay alive. Shawnee P, P8. Pepso, P9 and Magel round off the top 10. Can he continue his fine form and keep his nose at the front of the championship challenger tier? Dazza P11, Benchard P12, Sygate 13th, Kessler 14th, Adina 15th with Big John 16th and D Singh from the rear waiting to go in his grid box. Regan McKinn is in his grid spot. It's a 141 metre run down from pole to turn 1 breaking point, the shortest of the calendar. He probably isn't. Me, I'm not either. Shut your mouth, you cheeky bastard. The lights are going. It's 3, 4, 5. It's lights out, away we go. Everyone looks like they've got a decent start. Magel's gained a place ahead of Pepso, who's had a really poor start off the line. Fleecy's got himself ahead of Regan McKinnon, where someone's not looking well there. It looks like Aidan has found himself down in P16. As what's that Mercedes doing? What was D Singh doing? Well, that was just a ridiculous move there from the Mercedes, and he's going to be punished for that, I'm sure. Kessler up 4 places up to P10 as we see Aidan missing his braking point. He's going to be punished for returning to track as well. I know it's debut, but you should be reading the rules. Not good debut there for the Visa Carb Reserve. 2 stopper, says Amazon. Come on, Div 2 boys, you can do better than this. Front 2 haven't pulled away as yet as the train all goes all the way down to Shawnee P. Down in P8, you've got another yellow flag. It looks like Big John. There's come a cropper coming out of the chicane of turns 5 and 6. Misses his braking, but almost clatters the wall at turn 7, but have made their way round. Now as we see somebody clatter the wall at 15. Yeah, Red Bull here of Pepso's missing a front end plate. I won't be surprised if we see some early pit stops here, but yeah, it's looking quite overcast. Won't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 bouts of rain. Sygate ahead of his teammate then down the start finish as Pepso's looking to go into the pits then. And DRS is now active at the start of lap 2. And let's jump onto the front runners. Skygate's just within that DRS. Or is he? Didn't have it open. Pepso has come out in P14. And that's just ahead of Benchod. Rui and Sygate having a good battle as John and D Singh both in the pits. Both not having the best of starts to the race here in Baku as a drift. Regan McKinnon coming through turn 7. Look at that shot coming through the castle. Yum, 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 yum. Everyone making it through for the first couple of laps to get themselves settled. So Skyguard just falling out of DRS slightly. The game's not screwed, D Singh. That was a kamikaze move at turn 2. Skyglide's caught up to this battle for the front 2, and we've got a yellow flag. Looks like Benchard and Pepso maybe on a slight collision at turn 15, or someone's hitting the wall. Pepso's got a damaged wing again. As Dan Morris, with the aid of DRS, gets himself up to P4 and looks to close the gap to his teammate. Regan McKinnon still behind behind Fleasy. Takes a quick look at turn 2. Good battle here between Kessler and Magel. Kessler getting up to P9 with DRS at turn 1. Great overtake from the Williams. Magel will look to try and retake that position though. Regan McKinnon's still stuck behind the Sauber. And while they're battling, Skyguide will close the gap. Hot step on up. As Magel. Oh, and Kessler's in the wall. Turn 3. Aiden going through. Pepser going through as well on Kessler. Kessler, I think, has got a damaged wing, so he's going to find it very tricky through the second sector. Not a good couple of corners there for the William boys. Aiden closing in on Cygate. Oh, skims that castle section. Kessler's made it through with his damaged wing. Aiden looking to gain a place on his teammate for today. As Regan McKinnon retakes the lead of the race. TT Fleasy all over his gearbox. Should have DRS to retake the position. And does so. Skyglade and Dan Morris looking to work together. As we see a pit stop here for Dazza. No carnage as yet, Benedict, but still time to go. A little bit feisty at the start of the race. As yeah, interesting pit stop from Dazza. He's getting a new front wing, that's why. Red Bull driver. Himself on the hards. He'll probably do 2 lots of hards now. Easy still at the spear of this battle. 4-car battle here for the lead of the race. Aston boys just waiting, biding their time, and like I said, they've got to work together. Hot stepper. Overtake there for D Singh, John on D Singh. D Singh back in the pits again. Not having the greatest of races so far, the Mercedes. Wonder if Skyguide will let Dan through. In different tiers, of course. Our division split into 2 tiers. Division 2, top 10 drivers, the professional tier, and then the second 10 are the challenger tier. One from each tier will represent the constructors. So Dan in the professional and Skyguide in the challenger. Both with DRS. Got a yellow flag. It's a Mercedes. I think it's D Singh missing his braking point at turn 2. As Regan McKinnon side by side with Fleasy managed to make that overtake stick and up to the lead of the race. Oh my Christ. The Aston Martins have taken each other out of turn 1. What's Skyglide doing? I think he should have just given up to his teammate. He's lost out to both Hot Stepper and Damon Hill. Dan Morris on the overtake. Aiden Gibb has crashed out. And it is a full safety car on debut. I think he's crashed out at turn 1. The sign guy's already in the pits. Come out, perfect time there for the Visa Carb. And not that done is neutralise the race. Big John, he'll probably stay out. And that's the first safety car. And on debut, Aiden is out. Be interesting to see what happened there. Was it his own doing? Or was it battling? But I don't think the Aston Martin boys will be keeping quiet in the garage. You can go 3 wide at turn 1. It's kind of like IndyCar, Aiden. It's just making sure you're aware. Interesting to see your footage. Big John is in the pits. Will we see drivers take the opportunity and pit? Or will they try and extend to go on a one-stop? Leesy's leading the way. This, of course, will neutralise the race. Fleasy is in. Regan McKinnon follows in. What will we see from the next guys? Hot Stepper is in. Dan Morris is in. Damon Hill up to P5 now, the Mercedes. He's in. Skylight's in. He's going to get double stacked behind his teammate. Shawnee P, I think, has got a good enough gap. He's in to his teammate. Magel is in as well. Don't speed, Magel. Mahasabri is in as well. Xbox in as well. He's pit quite a few times. He'll be happy to see this pet safety car as Benchog goes through. Oh my Christ! Oh my Christ! Castle let Benchog through so his teammates didn't double stack behind him, and he ends up crashing in the wall. Oh my God, Benchog. Clown move as Sygate goes through. He's already pit and will gain a couple of places. Will end up behind his championship rival as Maygold misses his braking point coming out the pits. Oh my God. Oh, Maygold. Now this is the Div 2 boys on show, and he's ended up down in P12. Oh my God. Oh my God. So yeah, Dazza obviously pitting early. He's found himself now in P8. Sygate up to P10. Magel powers. Magel's got his... Someone's cut his brakes by the looks of it. I reckon Shawnee P. Shawnee P's P2 in the standings for Challenger. He's cut Magel's brakes. Callum cheering on the grid. I don't think he expected to see a safety car. But TT Fleasy will be following the Aston Martin safety car around for Mylander on show once again for the Div 2 boys. Let's hope it's a clean restart. As it stands, TT Fleasy leading the way. Damon Hill now leads the way in the Challenger tier. Got one driver out, and the sun's out now as well, thankfully. Although I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of rain here in Baku. It would have made it even more hilarious. Just waiting for the final few cars to join up. We've still got Bencher, John and D Singh to join the safety car queue, and D Singh is half a lap, well, almost a full lap behind the safety car. He needs to catch up. A tight battle here, which now I think will include Hot Stepper and Damon Hill for this chance for a win and for a podium. As I said, after 2 races, Regan McKinnon won them both quite fortuitously with a safety car. It hasn't come his way for this race as of yet, but you never know. Dan Morris is just behind him, And Benchard in P3 in the standings. Benchard's struggling at the moment here in Baku. And then for the challenger, as I said, Magel is leading the way with Shawnee P behind him. Damon Hill, P3 in the standings, but like I said, is leading the way at the moment. Fallen challenger tier, it could all change. We're in on lap 7 out of 26. If safety car's going to be in, it's going to save now. But I'm pretty sure it's going to go round for another lap. Haas leading the way in the Div 2 constructors. Currently P2 and P9. But the Aston Martins 4 and 6 closing the gap. I'll tell you what I'll do while we wait for the safety car. I'm going to have a slurp of neck lube. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've had a slip. Ugh. Well, this track's 57% chance of a safety car. It's come out. Although I think there's low chance of not a safety car coming out at all in any Div 2 race. These guys are notorious for getting it out and not just their pennies. As I said, TT Fleasy will be leading us away under the safety car restart. But Regan McKinnon will be over him like an Asian on rice. Won't let go of him. Hot stepper in the McLaren. With a good start to the race. Now finds himself in P3. He does not want to get jumped by the front two. Safety car will be in this lap. We're still waiting for Big John and D Singh to catch up. The car's made of snails. Bayern Munich 3-3 in the 89th minute, which would take them through to the semi-finals. Incredible game. It's been to and fro all match. I'm pretty sure the Arsenal game's 0-0. What a snowball. Unlike this, safety car is in this lap. Now, Arsenal don't deserve to win the Champions League. Fucking 0-0 in a quarter-final. Fucking boo! Safety car is on its way in. You can't go until the safety car is in the pits, and you can't overtake until this timing line. So I'm pretty sure TT Fleasy will go as late as possible. Otherwise, he's going to be under threat for the overtake. Stay on with Regan McKinnon and wait for Fleasy to go. Keep trying to get temperature in his tyres. When will the Sauber go? When will he pull the trigger? Regan McKinnon's waiting. He's waiting. And Fleasy's gone. Regan McKinnon stayed with him. Hot Stepper stayed with him as well. But Dan Morris is being slightly caught off guard. And he's got Damon Hill all over the back of him. Pepso already passed the Magel up to P11. Good start from Pepso on the medium tyres. Making use of that compound side by side with Cygate. There's a big cluster with Dunnery in the middle of them. I hope this doesn't end in carnage. There's 3 wide going to turn 3. Magel on the inside. Oh, slight contact. Was that with Kessler? Wasn't the best to drive in at such a tight 90-degree corner. As Kessler taking a look at Magel on the inside of turn 7. They left each other plenty of room. But Magel ahead at the castle section. William drivers have to be careful not to make contact. Benchard, of course, the lead driver of the team. looking to potentially try and do an overtake on his teammate. Oh my God, what's Benchard doing? He's lost his end plate trying to do an overtake on such a fast, quick section. Lost his head. Almost lost his back end as well. Coming out of 16. It's very tricky going through these with their damaged wing. As we see D-Sing clattering the wall in the back. He's lost an end plate as well by the looks of it. He's pit enough times. Fleasy's still in the lead of the race, but DRS is now active. Regan McKinnon's wing is open. Hot Stepper slightly adrift. But Dan Morris does have DRS and try to pull away from the Mercedes. Dan Morris for Damon Hill behind him. Skyglide trying to make strides on Damon Hill. We'll have to follow him through this middle sector. It's a quick look at turn 4. Rui and Magel battling here for P12, P11. Oh, and the Alpine loses traction out turn 4, clatters his back wing and ends up at the back in P16. Just lost traction, couldn't keep control, and ends up at the back. It seemed like he was struggling the last few laps. Arsenal 0-0. Fucking boo! You're Arsenal gonna get wiped out in the semis now. PSG, Atletico, and as it stands, Bayern gonna absolutely swamp Arsenal. Front 2 here already, 2 seconds adrift of Hot Stepper. And DRS here for the Haas should get him into the lead of the race. Well, it looks like good speed down the straight there for Fleasy. Regan McKinnon maybe going for a second bite of the cherry. Going to turn 3. And close enough to make a move yet as Kessler ahead of Idinarui up to P11, the Williams. Benchard trying to follow his teammate through as well. He does on the outside of turn 1. Loses. What's going on here? Idinarui squeezed in the inside of turn 3. It's very hard to go too wide through these 90-degree corners. But Benchard's got ahead of his teammate now. Looked like Kessler had a bit of a tricky exit out of turn 1. Idinarui damaged end plate. I think he's hit the wall. Some of these Div 2 drivers just finding this track very tricky to navigate. He's got no end plates now. As D-Sing, he's crashed out of turn 2 and safety car is back out again. Surprise, surprise. Bayern Munich 4-3. Their place in the semis is secured. I hope they get Arsenal and smash them. Daz's drive-through speeding under the safety car. What's Xbox and Cygate doing here? Just stay in your position. Will we see anyone pit again? Maybe onto some hards to go to the end of the race if someone's got 2 sets of hards. This will be interesting now to see how everyone's strategy will unfold. You'll probably see Pepso go in. He's on mediums and will pit. TT Fleasy as he. Regan McKinnon trying to do a feint, so both the front 2 staying out. Hot Stepper staying out as well, trying to do a full on Dan Morris. Dan Morris staying out. Damon Hill staying out. Sky Guys staying out as well. Reckon they can stay on the hards to the end of the race here. Daz is in. He looks like he's got damage. He's got a drive through as well, which will hamper his race. Benchard and Kessler both going through, but Pepso, Cygate, John, Idinarui all in the pits. Nagel going on through. I don't think he's got a wing though. Cygate stuck behind, having to do the double stack and find himself in P14. we go again. Fleasy will lead us off on the restart. I don't think the safety car will be out too long. Maybe do one more lap after this. Once again, the race is neutralised, and we've lost 2 to the walls of Baku. Aiden on debut, and D Singh just not having the best of races in Mercedes. D Singh at the bottom of the professional tier. It's obviously not going to improve anymore. Fleasy got pole in Vegas. Only managed P5 last week. At the moment, he's in the lead of the race. Can he get his first win of the season and Lights Out League Racing? Not if Regan, Hotstep and Dan Morris have anything to say about it. Dan needs to make sure he gets a better launch off the restart. Got caught on his heels slightly. Those going on the mediums are going to find it a bit of a tricky end to the race. Who's going to take this win? The first half of this race, you'd probably say it's either between Fleasy or Regan McKinnon, but anything can happen. If the McLaren and the Astons and Damon Hill can stay with him. If any track limit penalties occur, and you might say that this podium's going to get mixed. Regan McKinnon, Dan and Josh, who's obviously missing this week. Hayden, Gibb. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? Filling in for him. Safety car should be in this lap. No one wants to watch a safety car. And it is in, so all eyes on Fleasy again. Can the likes of Regan and Hotstepper stay with him? Or is he going to be off like a fart in the wind? He's going to hold up as late as possible again. Or is he going to go early and catch everyone by surprise? He'll catch me by surprise if he does. Oh, God's sake, Ben Chod's having an absolute mare today. How's Ben? He's ahead of his teammate. How's he got a penalty? But let's go back to the racing action. Ben Chod, Fleasy's gone. Caught the guys behind slightly. Dan Morris is all over the back of Hotstepper. Front two, just a slight gap as we see. Skyglide and Damon Hill. Damon Hill just getting caught and losing a few positions. All the way down to P9. I think he's got squeezed at turn 2. Ben Chod ahead of Skyglide. This is going to be tricky. Kessler left plenty of space there. And stays P8 for now. Got a yellow flag in its itinerary. Portuguese has gone on the runoff area. Missed his braking point and missed the turn in and damaged his wing. Front two already pulled away out of DRS, which will be active on the next lap. Regan McKinnon's slight misjudgment through the castle section, which has afforded A bit of breathing space for the Sauber. So Dan Morris all over. Hot stepper. As we go down and see Dazza. Oh my God. Damon Hill just didn't turn his car in enough and it's clattered the wall. And it's a VSC. Just didn't turn his car in. Smashed into the wall. He's lucky to keep all four wheels attached. Oh, and he will have to pit. It's a full safety car again. Oh my God. Oh my God. Will we see anyone pit now? Will we see people stay out? Yep. Fleasy's in. Damon Hill will have a drive-through. Benchard carries on through then. He's choosing to stay out and have track position. I'm sure he's got damage. He's got damaged end plate, but he's choosing to stay out here. Interesting call from the Williams. Daz has stayed out as well. I think he's got that drive-through still. Wrong way. Yeah, he does have a drive-through. Sygate's got a drive-through as well. Oh my God. Yeah, Benchard should have served his 10-second penalties. He might go in, although he's stuck behind the safety car. Rookie error again from Benchard. But Pepso, currently P3 and in the lead of the race as it stands here, the Red Bull. Fleasy comes out in P5 then. And the problem with that, he's got cars ahead of him that can't serve the drive-through until the safety car is in. It's going to make an interesting safety car restart then. Megan McKinnon right behind his rival. He chose to go into the hard tyres. The mediums should last to the end, so he's going to be under threat from the likes of Hot Stepper and Dan. Shawnee P getting himself a penalty under the safety car clown. Kessler in P10. Magel P11. It's all messed up here. Will we see Benchard go in the pits and serve that penalty? Probably get himself a fresh wing on as well. It would make sense unless he thinks that he can get it rescinded. But even so, he's got a damaged wing, which he's gonna struggle when the safety car comes in. I think Benedict, you jinxed it earlier on by saying there was no safety cars, and you were surprised. Since then, we've had 3, and Benchard's staying out then, so he probably thinks that he can have the 10 seconds removed in the steward's room. And he will lead us away then. Dazzler and Sygate both with drive-throughs. Will he try to serve it on the restart? I think if the safety car goes in, you should be able to serve it. You're not sorry, Benedict. You're laughing out loud. Good to see you on track anyway, my friend. He is, of course, the elite tier champion for season 30. Has had a season off, and I'm sure he'll be back with us when the F1 25 update goes through in June. I'm just waiting for the final car to catch up, and the safety car will be in. And it will be lap 17 out of 26. So still a good 9 or 10 laps to go. Still all to play for this. But the cars ahead will make it a bit more spicy for this challenge for the win. I guess Benchard's put himself in the mix if he thinks that he can get that penalty removed. The fact that he was ahead of Kessler and got the penalty is a bit sus. The safety car will be in on cue. So a new driver to lead us away. For those that do safety car restarts, you cannot speed up and slow down. You can't concertina the grid. Maintain the speed. And you can go where you want, but you have to wait for the safety car to go in. And you can't overtake until the timing line. Will we see Dazza, Cygate, Damon Hill all in the pits to try and get rid of their drive-through? I think once that safety car disappears, it's all good. Still there though. Still there. When will he go? Benchod's still waiting. And he's gone. He's caught Dazza napping. Pepso's gone through. I think Cygate has lost out a couple of positions. I don't think he's getting himself in the middle of everybody. Fleasy and Regan McKinnon have gone through. Skyglider's got himself ahead of Kessler, and we've got Carnage ahead of course we do. There's carbon fibre and bits in my mouth. As Fleasy's got himself ahead of Pepso. Regan McKinnon stuck behind the Red Bull. So Fleasy's taking the lead of the race, and Big John is out, and it's another safety car as Regan McKinnon clatters the wall. Oh my God. Oh my God. These Div 2 boys need a good slapping. Fleasy's got himself into the lead of the race once again. Will we see anyone else pit? These guys trying to do the drive-throughs. They might have to do it on the last lap. I can't tell you how this is going to end. Back-to-back safety car fest. And the likes here of Hot Stepper and Dan Morris just caught up in P7 and P8 at the moment. Regan McKinnon stuck down in P5. Will he come a cropper because of the safety cars for this round? Well, I think this is the limit of safety cars now. We can't have any more. Will we see anyone else pit? Will we see anyone else pit? So TT Fleazy carries on, Bencho carries on, Xbox Pepso carries on, Dazza carries on, Regan McKinnon. Shawnee P is in. He's probably got damage. Caught up on that collision potentially with Big John. Kessler's in as well. Surprise, surprise. Let's have a look. Yeah, wing change and wing change. So Fleazy will lead us around and do the start for the third time. I agree, Regan McKinnon, this is ridiculous. Hey Josh, you can jump in the race, mate. It's been going on that long. Oh, Fleazy almost colliding with the safety car. Had to run deep. That turns turn 5. Fleazy now will have a buffer between him and Regan of 3 cars. So you'd have to say that potentially Fleazy is now favourite for the race win. Regan McKinnon will struggle on to get. He needs to keep temperature in these hard tyres. Benchard's going to be a sitting duck on those old hards. Still got to do another 8 laps on these. Benchard should have pit on the last safety car. Got rid of that 10 seconds. Get some fresh tyres on. He's not gonna be comfortable to the end of the race. You're right, mate. The dog's just sitting there licking my leg. You might assume correct, Josh. There has been a lot of safety cars. Not the greatest of races as we go round again, waiting for Kessler's car to join the pack. Well, yeah, he could get it rescinded, but he's still got to do another 8 laps on these. 20 odd laps on the hard tyres is crazy. He's gonna find it difficult on the last 2 or 3 laps, and especially from the restart. His tyres are just not going to be at the temperature. Oh, Shawnee! Italian hand gesture for Shawnee. A spin in the pit lane. Don't tell me you got damage under the safety car. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Are these... What the... What the fuck? I just don't understand. Just both simultaneously pitting for some new tyres that aren't even new. Well, they've ran out of the tyres because they put old tyres back on. That's how many pit stops they've done and how many safety cars we've had. What the fuck? Weird. I thought they'd pit again because they got damage. Anyway, we go again. Got 14 drivers left out of the 17 that started. Missing 1 or 2, of course, at the start of the race. With the likes of Josh, who's watching. Benja, Fire. Dibs. And Sea Doggy all not here. No Ferrari representatives. So we'll still have 0 points on the board after 3 races. I'm sure the safety car will be in now. For the final time, thank fuck. Now I think with Fleasy leading us away on the restart and Benchard and his old hards, the Sauber should be quicker than a Hummingbird on meth and get himself a bigger gap to his rivals of Regan McKinnon. Pepso, I think he's in the Challenger tier. Could potentially get himself his first Challenger win, but he's still got 8 laps to go. As we keep an eye on Fleas, he will go last minute again. Benchard waiting with a 10, and Fleas, he's gone a little earlier than usual. He's caught Benchard napping. Dazza looking to make an overtake. Sygate's... Dazza squeezed. He tried to make a move that just wasn't there. Sygate and Dazza's out. Oh, he's crashed out. Dazza's crashed out. But there's no more safety cars. I didn't know I was in there. And Sygate's disqualified because he couldn't serve his drive-through. Regan McKinnon already up to P3 ahead of Pepso. 2 seconds. Fleas he has already. Regan McKinnon will try and get past the Williams as soon as possible. But it's going to be so difficult through this middle sector. He's going to feel tetchy. He's going to be agitated, this Haas, trying to get past the Williams. Has a look on the inside of turn 7, trying to force a move that wasn't there. Benchard has his right though. He can stay out as long as he wants, but it's not going to be easy. Hot stepper. As Dan Morris for company, but he's got past the Red Bull. He classes the wall though, the hot stepper. Potentially damaged his wing. Oh my Christ. And you can hear his car powering down like a crashing plane. Fucking hell. I don't know what I'm watching sometimes, but the Red Bull of Pepso's out and his chance for a race win is gone. Oh, God's sake, now what's going on? Megan and Hot Stepper are out. They crashed out going down the straight. And the McLaren and the Alpine are not getting any points now. Now we've got 9 runners left. What the fuck is going on here? Oh, yeah, Daz, yeah. It's just incredible, isn't it? Daz got disqualified, not being able to serve his safety car because all the fucking safety cars coming out. So at the moment, TD Fleasy's got 3.7 seconds ahead of Regan McKinnon. Another yellow flag. It's a fucking Haas that's crashed out. Peace, and then turn 3. Come on, guys, finish this race. I'm hungry. So let me go again now. TT Fleasy has got 3.3 seconds on Regan McKinnon. Those hard tyres not able to switch on, but he's in P2. P3 for the Williams of Benchard. He's got that 10 seconds. He's got Dan Morris in his rear view. And we'll look to try and close the gap here. Benchard's tyres will be screaming. Dan Morris says he's got his teammate behind him. He's just picked up a track limits. You'd like to think the Sky Guide will just stay out of Dan Morris's way now and try and help him get that podium off of Benchard and not try and make a stupid move like he did earlier on in the race on turn 1. Dan Morris will have DRS here on the Williams. I don't know. Benchard lets the Aston Martin go through with that DRS. Let's have a look. Kessa here on Shawnee P. Not close enough to make a move as of yet. Dan Morris now up to P3 and the podium positions. Benchard not close enough to make a move and not able to with those tyres. It'll only be a matter of time before Sky Guide gets past him. Oh! Every time I see cars overtaking, the Sky Guide goes through on Benchard. Great move at turn 3, the Aston Martin. That's how we like to see it. Derman Hill has got past Dina Ryu up to P8. And we just slots behind the Mercedes now. As he got damage. Regan McKinnon has closed in by almost a second now. In the space of a few corners. This will make it interesting if the Sauber does have damage. Let me look at the front of his car. Oh, he does! Fleasy's got damage. Now this, I tell you what, if Regan McKinnon wins this race, he's going to be a lucky bastard. He's under 2 seconds now. Fleasy, how have you done that? His chance of a first race win in Lights Out League Racing is going to be under threat. And he's going to be sweating like the final cucumber in a woman's prison. As Regan McKinnon and the Haas is closing the gap 10ths at a time at each corner because it's so hard, especially on these right-handers. Kessler getting ahead of Shawnee P, up to P6 for the Williams. I'd like to say that these positions will end as they do, but I'm sure there's going to be 1 or 2 people in the steward's room. Dan Morris has got a comfortable P3 now. And he'll be hoping that there may be a bit of a battle for the front 2 on lap 23 or 26. Regan McKinnon on these hard tyres should be in better nick than the Saubers on the mediums. We got a yellow flag and Benchard's out. He's crashed out at turn 3. And I'm not surprised. His wheels hanging off. His tyres was 17 laps old. There's no way he could turn in. 1.3 seconds now between the front 2. It's going to be a tight fight to the finish. It's going to be incredible if Fleasy can keep this win. But you can see Regan McKinnon pushing in his Haas. There's no gaps now, so we might as well just stay with these front 2 and see how this unfolds. Oh my God, I can't breathe. Benchard says it was a shit show. Absolutely, mate. I do agree. And Regan McKinnon, already in DRS range, should be able to take the lead of this race. Fleasy will try and defend it as much as possible. He'll be using as much of his ERS as possible. He's best just saving it and trying to keep it to the end of the race. Regan McKinnon just stays behind for now. Nothing stupid. Terry Red says it couldn't get any worse than last week, but it has. Regan McKinnon stays behind Flees for now. Just needs to retain his ERS. Stay within DRS range. And by this time, put pressure on the Sauber. Try and force him into another mistake. It seems like he's made a mistake on his own, though. He's going to be struggling through this middle sector. Regan McKinnon, slight lock up at turn 7. You see both the lights flashing, trying to harvest some ERS. Try and get some energy in their battery. The steward's room's going to be busy. Mr. Jax Daniels is on holiday. He's going to come back to 1 or 2 reports to fill out. We're just about to approach the penultimate lap. Dan Morris 3.7 seconds behind. He's slightly closing, but I think he's going to run out of laps. Can Regan McKinnon make the move yet? I'm sure the Sauber's trying to save as much energy as possible, trying to break the slipstream, however much advantage it gives the Haas. The Haas trying to go on the inside. The Sauber trying to defend it, but the Haas has made the move stick. Defends the inside. Fleesy trying to do the switchback. Has a look in the inside of turn 2. This is going to be brave. Oh, I swear I heard some wall smacks. It's a drag race to turn 3. The Sauber has the DRS. Tries to take a look on the inside of turn 3. Oh, good race in between those two. Left each other just enough room. But Regan McKinnon now has the lead of the race. Can Fleesy stay with the Haas? I have a feeling with his wing damage. Oh, slight nick on turn 5. And falls out that DRS range. That's cost him a couple of seconds. Dan Morris just behind. Can he nick P2? Dan Morris has got his eyes set on the next step. And it's not hot stepper, it's P2. 2.2 seconds now on the Sauber. This is for Dan Morris to take, head down. He's got 1 lap to do it. 1.8 seconds now. And I think Fleece is giving up the race now to Regan McKinnon, who's a lucky boy. Like, you have to be there in it to win it, but that damage to Fleesy has gifted the race to Regan McKinnon. And here now, Dan Morris, the championship closest challenger, the closest championship challenger to Regan McKinnon is now just over a second to Fleesy. He has 1 lap to make the overtake. This could be a brilliant result here for the Aston Martins and the Saubers and the Haasses, all with 2 drivers finishing on the grid. And Morris not close enough as of yet to make the overtake, I think. He's going to try and wait now till the start-finish straight. Fleesy trying to break that slipstream once again, as we've seen him do with Regan McKinnon. Oh, little snap. Lost of traction on the rear end for Dan Morris. But still managed to close a couple of tenths on the Sauber. This is going to go down to the wire. I think it's going to be a drag to the finish line. Dan just needs to stay probably within a half a second of Fleesy. He's still just out of range here. He's going to be shaking like a shitting dog, and there's a better castle section from the guy that's got damaged wing. This is a brilliant drive on the final lap here from Fleesy, trying to hold off the Aston Martin of Dan. This is where Dan needs to put the pressure on. He needs to get a good exit out of turn 16. It's all or nothing here now for Dan Morris. He's an Amazon Prime series. He's got a better exit than the Sauber. Gained a couple of tenths through the kinky corners. Oh, look at the speed from the Aston Martin as Regan McKinnon crosses the line and takes the third win of the season. Dan Morris crosses the line and just nips it. P2 for the Aston Martin. Freezy did as much as he could, but comes home P3. Takes his first podium of the season. Sky Guy comes home P4 and takes his first win for the Challenger division. Shawnee gets pipped by Kessler, who takes P5 and P2 in the Challenger. Damon Hill jumps onto the podium ahead of Shawnee P. I don't think Damon Hill expected that, but Shawnee P takes P7 and Dina Ryu takes P8. So big points on offer for everyone that finished, but wasn't again the best advert for the division or the league. Safety car fest. Unfortunate for the likes of Dazza and Saige, who couldn't serve their drive-throughs because of the bloody safety cars. Megan McKinnon with that win and that fastest lap. Kessler given driver of the day. There wasn't many that we could choose from, to be honest. There you go, our race winner again. Once again, Regan McKinnon. Early advantage for the Haas driver and the fastest lap with a 42.9. Dan Morris coming home P2. I think he'll be quite chuffed with that and continues his battle for the championship. TT Fleasy coming home from P3. Sky Guy coming home P4. Good points on offer for the Aston Martins. Kessler coming home P5. We'll probably get the biggest gains award starting P14. P6 for Damon Hill. I'll be happy with that. Both drivers on the Challenger podium. Shawnee P, P7, and Adiri E, P8 from P15. Benchard, Hotstepper, Magel, Pepso, John, Deasing, Aiden, and Saige, and Dazza all not finishing the race. Well, what can I say? I'm hungry. So I'm going to go. But if you want to join us next week, which I'm sure you do, once again, next Wednesday, 7:30 UK for the Div 1 boys, who you will see doing the stint at Baku. If you want to see the Div 2 boys, join us at 9 PM UK. And we will be at Singapore, and it will be a sprint format at Marina Bay. Dan Morris says it was an awful experience. I agree. It was one to watch too. Just don't know what to say sometimes. But we go again. And we will be back, as I said, next Wednesday. My name is Alex. This is Lights Out League Racing. Peace out.